Today I'm just going to show you what I'm usually doing, doing in the mornings lately. See, we kind of have this sick pig. Well, she's not sick anymore, but it's been really cold out lately, like below 0 or 30, 20. She was in a group of pigs we got from a friend, and she's kind of shivering right now. I'm not sure if you can tell or not. So she's just been in here in one of the barking stalls, but we also use them for when we have a sick or pregnant animal. This is just the laneway area. In this area, and that's where Zoe's been staying, because over here are our other goats, and they kind of bully Zoe. So usually in the mornings I just let Zoe wander a little bit. She doesn't usually go that far. She usually just heads over there, walks up to the house maybe. So one of my jobs is to come out here, check on animals, make sure waters aren't frozen, but we use heated buckets in the winter that are attached to the barn electrical, so we don't really need to worry about water unless it's our animals that have big issues. Right now I'm just coming out here. This is spent grain. We've been feeding this to Miss Piggy and our other pigs. Miss Piggy is the name we came up for the hurt pig, and she just rolls around really likes me for some reason. Most likely because I nurse most of the animals back up to help with my mother's assistant. Give me a minute and I'll be right back. And we're back. All I really had to do was scoop up some spit grain and add some water to it. Since it's frozen, the water kind of helps soften it up for her. So it's just a little bit of a slosh kind of, and she just loves it. Sorry if there's a lot of background animals. Some of them are just really noisy or trying to get into food. Give me a minute because I gotta move the spit grain out so Zoe doesn't eat it. They can have like a little bit, but it's not really healthy for them. Pigs, they can digest it a little better than ruminate, meaning more than one stomach. So, goat, sheep, cows, they're all ruminants. Pigs aren't. Though pigs can digest stuff, pigs have more stomachs just like us. Not just like, but closer to goats or sheep and cows. Sorry, I had to get the spit grain out and put it up, because Zoe will sometimes push this bottom down here open. That's why we have a chain, but last night she pushed out of it because it wasn't locked tight enough. So yeah, right now I'm just going over here to check our horse's water. And it's pretty low, so I'm gonna have to get the bucket in that laneway area and just fill it up. Because horses drink a lot of water. Ponies not as much. I'm pretty sure a full-grown horse can drink up to 8 gallons of water a day. And the reason why this one bucket is large is because it's for the horses. And all of our hoses right now are kind of frozen. And my horses are all the way out there. So we just open the gate and fill up this bucket every once or twice a day. The sheep in them have their huge trough in the back. Give me a minute and I will actually show you. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry, I just had to get through our gate, which is just to keep the sheep back here. So anyways, this is their tubs. We have different sized ones because we have big sheep, we have little sheep. But since it's frozen, I'm gonna have to break this ice because otherwise the sheep won't get watered. And in the winter, animals actually need to drink more water than they usually do in summer, just because it's cold in that. And I've actually learned this just a few days ago. Water is actually one of the #1 nutrients for animals. So in winter, you gotta make sure they got water. We do have a heater in this, but when it gets down to 30s and below, like in the zeros, that's just really hot. I'm not sure if you can tell, but we've got goldfish in here for in the summer. The winged mosquitoes try to lay their larvae or eggs in here. They'll just eat it. So we have less of a mosquito issue. Now, give me a minute and I gotta break this. So I just got them breaking the eye. It's hard to break all of it, but you just need to have a big enough area where the sheep can get to water. And water is especially good when you have a large amount of animals. That's why we have such a large trough, and it's at the back of the barn, so when it rains, the water runs down into the trough. So it fills up by itself mostly. But yes, we do need to fill it every time. We've had to fill it maybe 2 times this month. But since there's not a heater in the bathtub, and why there is a bathtub here is for our shorter sheep, just because it's shorter and they can reach it. But in the winter, yeah, this thing is basically impossible to break open. There's more little tubs for like when we start lambing and they start to drink water, because some of them won't be very tall, so we have shorter ones for them. So that's why there's so many different tubs back here, and they all pretty much run off from the barn. Give me a minute and I'll show you what next I do in the morning. This water right here is just from the barn running off from the snow in that, because it snowed a couple of days ago here. So that's just from it melting, in case any of you were wondering. Now that we're out of there, I need to go get some feed for our ducks, because usually they would eat grass or insects. But since it's winter, there's nothing really for them to eat in their area. Let me get that stuff together and I'll go show you our ducks. Okay, I've got our grain. And the reason I need this hammer is because their water thing is basically their pond area. So I kind of need to go break that. And that gets just as thick as ice as it does behind the barn. Let me get through the gates and that and show you what I do for our ducks. Okay, and we're at our duck area. Sorry if there's a lot of noise. we have our boy geese over there. This is what we feed our dogs, just a mixed blend of stuff. Sometimes I'll just spread it around, but just to give them some entertainment. Quiet, boys! So up here is our girl geese and boy ducks. Well, all our ducks. So I just usually tuck the grain into a straight line from that. And they're quiet once they get their grain. And this is our duck hut. It's just basically some screws, some tin, some wood, and window with some hinges, some chicken wire, and a few huts and some wood chips. So now I'm just coming down to break their water. And they are mad at me because I did not break their water properly. So give me a minute and I'll break this. So I've just broken this little area because that's maybe 6 inches of ice right there. So, and our ducks have this huge area to wander in the winter because we have nothing growing in our garden. And also in summer, when my mother is weeding and that, they'll get all the grass or dead plants and that, or anything that's really unwanted in the garden, really. So yeah, that's basically all I really do in the morning when it's a lazy day. Today we don't really have, well, we haven't figured out to do today because we went to cut wood yesterday. So really the only things we really need to do is come out here, give the animals water and food, and then feed our pigs, which are in the back there. So yeah, that's all we really have to do. But most of the time we're doing like projects and that. Or my mother's doing gardening, which she's inside doing seed starts right now. But I think I covered everything for what we mostly do in the morning. Well, what I mostly do. So I gotta get to filling my horse's water now and putting Gooey up. And why is he not in with the other goats? Well, because Bill bullies some of my other goats. So I just threw him out with the others, with the sheep. But he can jump fences, and he mostly does, but not usually. He's only jumped to try and get back to the other goats, really. And this is why we have a lot of gates and fences. And most of our projects include fixing fence, which is usually from the goats, sheep, or our cows pushing it down or going underneath it. Well, I gotta get to doing this water over here. This is Wee Wild Woman signing off.